I'm home cold, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you around back when I was
You learn how to assess people.
Yeah, your discernment has to be on point.
Exactly, because that's what you.
It's life and death.
Yeah, that's what you have to survive
that's
on.
what you have, yeah.
Yeah, people, the predators, they have to know that. They have to know who's a mark and who's not.
Yep.
And so that is just so universal no matter where you came from. And so that's one of the things that, always surprised me. Like, some people can't tell that I have some of that in me. Because,
Well, that's because it ain't in them; it's on them.
yeah, right, yeah. So it's kind of, but then, like when you were saying, like, oh, people don't test you. I'm like, no, it really doesn't happen. In fact, some of the roughest gangsters where I go, they embrace me because I guess there's something that they feel a connection with.
Yeah, well, the real are always going to embrace you. It be the punks, you know what I mean? That project their insecurities, as we said earlier.
Exactly, because there's a thing that I think is constant in manhood.
Yeah.
There's something that you will live and die for, and we could recognize that in others. There's because you've walked those burning sands, you've gotten there, and when and we recognize another person who has been there.
For sure.
Just like I recognized when I first met you.
Sure.
And it was one time I was in Atlanta, and I was doing a movie, and it was like before we started shooting, myself and the cast members were club hopping, and two of the cast members, one of them was a very popular actor.
Okay.
Well, two of them was popular actors. Like they played somewhat tough roles before, and the other one was kind of a pretty boy actor type of guy. But we're all hanging out. We go to 3 different clubs, right? All 3 clubs, people are about to get into it with them. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Why are people like, it's like they're a magnet for like, like, and I'm like, in 2 of the clubs, I'm like, listen, y'all, he's with me, whatever, let's squash it. And then, okay. And there was respect there, and I kind of quelled the situation. The 3rd place I went into, I walked in, and we walked in all 3 together, and it was other people around us. And so, security was opening and, paving the way for us. And so there'd be people just kind of checking to see who's coming in. And I would see, I see how people are looking at me, if it's a threat or not. But I see this big dude that I'm walking by, and it's just kind of like this, and he shifts from his eyes to me to look over my shoulder to the actor that's behind me, and all of a sudden his mood changes, and he goes like this, and I turn and look, and the actor's mean mugging him.
Wow.
And I'm going, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I look at you eye to eye, ain't nothing behind me.
Yeah.
But they're going, they're trying to be tough.
Yeah.
And so that makes the guys go like, oh, what's up? Like, so I happened to catch that moment because I saw his look change when he went from me to the person behind me. And then I started to study, and I'm like, and I see the behavior of these cats.
Yeah.
Who's trying to really kind of act like they rough. And I'm going, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
They're trying to project this toughness, and the cats in this club ain't having it.
Yeah, they ain't having it.
They ain't having it. I go, that's it.
Yeah.
I never do that. People always wonder why I never, because I'm not projecting. And sometimes somebody looks, what's up, man? Oh, hey man, how you doing? It's like that. Like,
and that's the funny thing that you say. I had to learn that, bro. Because coming from my environment, and I know, Ken, you probably can attest to this. I mean, especially in our generation, you had this mean mugging thing, and that's really some immature shit. It's like some Willie Lynch type shit. It's like we're coming from that environment. You are bred to have an automatic disdain and distrust for somebody that looked like you. You know what I mean? And I found myself doing it in my younger years. You know, I would be looking at a dude and just picking him apart in my head. Look at this square ass nigga. Look what this dude, he ain't, you know. And now, again, energies are contagious. I would do that and then not understanding I'm inviting that type of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as I matured, especially when I moved out here to LA about 20 years ago, I had to do the work myself. I said, I caught myself one time. I said, why am I looking at him like that? I said, I don't even know this dude.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
And so then I started speaking. You know, I started saying, hey, how you doing, my brother? You know what I mean? So now I do it. So now when I go to wherever the element is and they on that bullshit, whenever they try to do that whole mug and try to be tough, you usually, when you say, hey, how you doing, my brother? Oh, what's up? You know what I mean? You don't play the game with them. Because one thing that I tell them, okay, you keep campaigning, you're going to get elected. You keep, you keep playing that game, bad news going to beat you home all the time.